Hi, welcome to Copenhagen. Thanks for dropping in. This was or is an unplanned live. I was just sitting doing this diamond painting and I thought, I'll just fire up YouTube, see if anybody comes in, have a bit of a chit chat. So this is one that I started just a couple of days ago. I just finished a 60 by 80 square drills, loads of confetti, and decided to do a small one for a bit of a break. So this is a 37 by 37, and it's round drills and a lot of blocks of the same colour. So just taking a bit of a break before I start the next big one. So that's what I'm doing basically. Yeah, still new to this live stuff. But normally I tend to do larger diamond paintings, a lot larger than this. The biggest one I've done so far is an 80 by 100. It was a custom. It took 202 hours to complete that one. So this is one that I got on Amazon. It was one that I got just basically to reach the minimum to get free delivery. I was just a bit short of that, and I just decided to go and find a small diamond painting. So I got it for nothing basically. So it's been snowing in Copenhagen today. This is the first snow we've had this winter. I think it's meant to snow all day and all night. Hi Nicole and Colleen. I just noticed I'm in a a daydream there. I just noticed that you're in. So thanks for dropping in. This wasn't really a planned live. I was just sitting doing this, and I thought I would just fire up YouTube, see if anybody came in. So this is just a little break for me doing this one, 37 by 37, round drills, no confetti to speak of. After doing that Hans Christian Andersen, I needed a break, so I pulled this one out. I was just looking for a small, brightly coloured one, and this fits the bill perfectly. I think I started it 2 days ago. I'll finish it tomorrow for sure. Maybe even tonight, depends how long I'm on. Then I've got another one coming tomorrow that I want to do quite a lot of stuff for YouTube with. And then after I've finished that, the next one's going to be 80 colours and back up to 60 by 80, so back up to the big stuff. The one after that's got 89 colours, so I'll be back into confetti world for a while. Hi Rosandra, good afternoon. I'm still getting used to where everybody is. I recognise names, but it's going to take time for me to remember. So where are you again, Rosandra? It's just check the time. It's 2:22 p.m. in Copenhagen, and it's just beginning to get dark outside. Denver, okay, Denver, Colorado. I don't know why that comes into my head. Denver, Colorado. Why do I know that? Usually it's things like that. It's songs. 6:22 a.m. Okay. So the first thing you did when you woke up was came on YouTube. Is that your normal routine? Cup of coffee and YouTube? Mountains. There aren't any mountains in Denmark. It is an extremely flat country. Oh, you get up really early. You're like me. I get up early as well. When I wake up, I just get up. I can't lay in bed. Ah, okay. Yeah, I get that one. It's not a lot you can do when they decide they want to go out. It's always a good idea to take them, or at least open the back door and let them out. Yeah, so I did some unboxings yesterday. I don't know if you saw them. I had 3 diamond art clubs that Tammy had ordered. So she's not interested in doing unboxings or anything like that. So I had the privilege of opening them up to let people see them. It was pretty cool. This camera keeps refocusing, doesn't it? Yeah, that's annoying. Making bread, cool. I just go down to the bakery or the supermarket and buy the bread. I'm too lazy to make bread. Yeah, the 3 of them are gifts. So when she finishes them, they won't be staying here. But I really liked the last one. I mean, I liked all of them, but I really liked the last one. So I don't know. I can see me maybe ordering that for myself at some point in the future. Again, it's bright colours. I like. I found out that I really like brightly coloured diamond paintings like this. I mean, this is a small one, but it's still it's nice to look at. I've got the light pad on underneath, which makes it a bit dotty, but if I switch that off, it's not bad. Colours are very faded on the webcam. Oh yeah, 3 teenage boys. Yeah, they will eat a lot. I take it that is French. Sorry, I don't speak any French. Harbour Freight, I'm using them just now. Yeah, I like them, but I think now I've got 4 different styles of container, and I think I'm going to do a YouTube and compare them all against each other. There's pros and cons, I think, for all of them. The first thing that I noticed with these Harbour Freights was when I first opened one. Move the light over. When I first opened one, 25 drills fell out and landed on the glue because when they sit like this in the container and then you take them out, some drills. Where am I camera-wise? Is that going to focus? Some drills sit up on the lip between the hinges that I didn't know. So I just opened it as normal as I was moving over the diamond painting to go to the tray, and they fell out and landed on the canvas, and I was like, okay, that was a really good start. No, it's not from static, it's just the design of the boxes. I'm going to have to figure out a better way to light this. If you see, if it's sitting like this, it's fine, but when they're in the box like this, they sit like that, and then when you pick them up, there's only one there. But sometimes a lot of them sit along this lip. In fact, there was one there. Oh, yeah. If I open it without spilling them, they sit along here, and then when you open the box, they fall out the hole, fall out here. So there was a pile of them. I never noticed it. I wasn't even looking for it. I didn't know. And I just opened it, and they went, and it was like, great. That was the start to Harbour Freights. But now that I understand why it happened, when I lift the boxes out, I lift it up, and then I flip it forward, and I'll tap it if I see any. And what I'll do is I'll open it over the drill tray. So I've got like a big drill tray. So I'll open it over there, so anything that falls out lands in the tray. I mean, it's no real big deal. It's just because I'm used to Tic Tac boxes. I'm used to just taking the Tic Tac box out, popping the lid, and going over and tipping into the tray. So it just means I have to do it differently. Yeah, that's right, Colleen. It's just getting used to it. The big advantage is they hold a lot more than Tic Tac boxes, and that, to me, that is the big downside of the Tic Tac boxes, which I've been using since I started. So a year. I've been using Tic Tac boxes from the beginning and just got used to it. But especially when I'm doing the very big diamond paintings, it's a bit of a pain. The Tic Tac boxes will hold 800 drills, which you think is a lot, but you find if you're doing a lot of the same colour on the big paintings, you seem to feel as if you're topping up all the time. I haven't had any problems with static at all. It's just the design. It's when you open them up, it's totally open between the hinges, and because they sit on it, they just fall out. I mean, it's not a big issue. It's just a handy thing to know. So that's why I'm thinking I'll do a YouTube video and I'll talk about the Harbour Freights, the Tic Tac boxes. I've got another 2 types of container that I can talk about all of them. There's pros and cons with everything. I don't take off the stickers. The stickers, I keep them permanent. I've got that in my Tic Tac boxes as well. I just number them and I leave them numbered. I don't change it. Like this box is always going to be number 22. I don't put the symbol on the box or anything like that. I just go by the key. So basically, I'm looking, well, I look here. So I'm looking at, I was doing D. So look at the key. D is 22, take box 22. And that's it. Because if I was changing the symbols and changing the labels, the last one I did was 90 colours. So I've got 90 labels to sit and do. And then as soon as it's finished, they're obsolete. The next big one I'm doing has got 80 colours. So I'd need to change them all again. The next big one after that's got 8 to 9 colours. So it's, to me, I don't see the need to change the numbers. They're always going to be a number. I mean, I get it. Some people find that it's a pain to look at the key and then look at the number and then get the number. Whereas if you have the key and the number on your box, I mean, I understand it, but the practical side for me, it's just too much of a pain to keep relabeling. Yeah, 90 colours. That was the, oh, I shouldn't put that back. I'm working this. That was the Hans Christian Andersen that I've just finished. There's pictures up on Instagram. But that was a 60 by 80. Is that picture going all flickery, everybody? Or has it froze? No, it hasn't froze. I don't know what's wrong with this. I was doing this before I set up. Why is it when I put my hand there, it doesn't do it? That is weird. Yeah, it was the Smiths. Yeah, it was the one that got from Smith's Beads, the Hans Christian Andersen. So it's finished and framed. If you look at the, if you go on and watch the unboxings that I did yesterday, you'll see the Hans Christian Andersen in the background. It's up and it's already framed. I had the frame ready for it. As soon as it was finished, I put a tea towel over it and rolled it to make sure everything was flat, and then just put it straight in the frame. So it's already up on the wall. That was a lot of work. And I've got, I think, another 3 that are probably going to be just as bad for confetti. But yeah, I need to do another video really, because it's the same as always with the diamond paintings. Looking at a picture just is not the same as actually seeing it and then seeing the light reflecting off it. Like this small one here is really, really shiny. That's weird. I don't know what's causing that. I wonder if it's interference of the light pad. Yeah. I don't think it's the webcam. Aha. Don't know why it would cause it, but I think it's something to do with the light pad, because I noticed when I moved the camera closer earlier when I was setting up, it was just flickering all the time. Yeah. It's working okay now though. So maybe just need to keep the camera a bit further. See, as soon as I switch light pad on, that's weird. So I need to keep the camera higher up. I'll do that next time. Like I said, this wasn't really a planned thing. I was just sitting doing this and I just thought, I think I'll try a WIP. See who comes on, because I'm never sure who's awake. Ah, yeah, it could be. Try to see when it does it. Or if I had extra light, I wonder if that would stop it or make it worse. Hmm. People are gonna be dropping in here thinking, "What is he doing?" Yeah, so now I've put the light on top. So there's light on top and light behind. Maybe stop it doing it. We're always gonna have the focus thing though, because my hand is closer to the camera than the canvas. Just as. So let's see a little bit of something there. That's the only thing about round drills. Stuff falls in the gaps and sticks to the glue. What's sleep? Yeah. I don't usually sleep that much. I need to watch what I'm doing. I'm not used to talking and doing diamond painting at the same time. I'm a guy. I can't multitask. Normally, I'm just sitting here with wireless headphones on and listening to music. I don't have that problem. What I've found is when I started doing diamond painting, I never realised how often your eyelashes fall out. I kept finding the occasional eyelash stuck to the glue. So I think I've got about 22 or 23 still to do. It's just deciding which order I'm going to do them. And then a couple of days ago, I had an idea for something to do on YouTube. So I ordered another diamond painting. I keep saying I'm not going to buy, like everybody else, I keep saying I'm not going to buy any more until I get down to maybe the last two. But I don't know if that'll ever really happen. Yeah, that was weird. So basically, you saw a picture, and then they sent you part of the picture, like they zoomed in it. They zoomed in the picture, or they cut off the outside of it. So you never got the picture you were expecting. Have they got back to you about that? My gut feeling is that they won't, and I take it it's some company that nobody knows. It's not one of the big names, because all the main companies, I would say that would never happen. And if you did have a problem, they would fix it. They wouldn't yeah, they wouldn't quibble about it. I mean, I've had two from who's that from? Home Craftology. I think altogether I've bought 7 from Home Craftology, including one custom. And I had, yeah, I'm sure they definitely would. I've had problems with 2, and it's just one of these things. I mean, I spoke about it on YouTube before. Mistakes happen, things go wrong. It just happens, and it's how the companies deal with it and how they treat the customer. That, to me, that is a good company. If something goes wrong and they replace it, no questions asked, and they get it to you as quickly as possible, which is kind of difficult just now. I don't really have a problem with that. I would if I was like ordering every time I ordered one, I had a problem. That would be I wouldn't really like that. but like I said, I've ordered 7 off of them. I find customer service is fine. They're friendly, they're helpful. So I did talk about it. I wasn't really sure whether it was a good idea to do that. Talk about a replacement canvas, because then people think, oh, they do them wrong. But I decided to do a YouTube, and I sent a link to Home Craftology and said, look, I've done this video, and basically talking about what went wrong, how you fixed it, and why I consider that's good customer service. Yeah, that obviously that doesn't make any sense. How can they have a picture and then tell you they don't do anything that size and just give you part of the picture? That's just doesn't make any sense. I mean, companies shouldn't be trying to make excuses. Home Craftology, the replacement canvas was because there were some threads from the canvas had landed on the canvas before they put the sheet of glue down, and nobody noticed it. I didn't notice it. I did an unboxing. I never noticed it when I did it, but when I went to start doing the diamond painting, obviously I was looking closer, and I saw, I think it was 3 threads under the glue. And initially I thought, this is a hassle to like get another one and have to wait in it. So what I did was I got my craft knife and I split, like put a little slit along the thread at the side, thinking, I wonder if I can just split this and then pull the thread out with tweezers. So I tried it, but what happened was the thread just started to break up. It was turning into like powder. So I couldn't do it. So I took a picture of the threads and I took a little video of me trying to pull a thread out, sent it to them, said, never noticed it when I opened it, but now that I'm getting ready to start it, I saw these threads and I can't get them out. And they're obviously going to affect the diamond painting because the drills that go along those threads will be sticking up at a weird angle. So they got back to me straight away and said, that is the first time we've seen that. Sorry about it. We'll send you a new canvas. And I had a new canvas within 14 days. And I'm in Denmark. And especially at this time with all the trouble with postage and shipping. I thought that was really, really good customer service. No questions asked. There you go. And the second one was fine. The other one was one that had a ripple in the back in the canvas, and I thought I could flatten it out, but it never worked. So again, I just sent them a picture, said I've had this with weights on it sitting for weeks, in fact months, and I can't get it to go. I don't want to start messing about trying to iron it and things. It was tape. It was double-sided tape. I mean, that's why I said I was trying to cut the glue and got under it. It's just that sheet of double-sided glue. But it's just one of these things. Things go wrong. But in your case, Rosandra, when they're telling you they don't do it that size and you didn't get the canvas didn't show the whole picture. I mean, that's just really, really bad. I wouldn't, well, you warned us in the Facebook group, but I wouldn't buy from that company. Just on that, simple as that. It's false advertising, and then to argue with a customer is just forget it. I wouldn't entertain them. Yeah, poured glue is definitely better. You don't have to think about air bubbles and all that stuff. But I tend to go for the picture. The picture is the main thing to me. Like when I see something I like, if it happens to be the double-sided glue, I'll still get it. If I had a choice between poured glue or double-sided, I'd go for poured. But a lot of times you don't have the option. I got one from Wish, and it's on YouTube. I got one from Wish that was absolutely covered in air bubbles. It was bad. And quite a few people said to me, I would just throw that in the bin. I wouldn't waste my time trying to fix it. But I did. I went over the whole thing with a craft knife and I split all of the little rivers of air. And looking at the finished picture, you would never know there had been a problem. So I've got that up on YouTube talking about it. Just because you get air bubbles doesn't mean to say it's not going to work. It just means you need to do some prepping. But I think it's just the nature of the way they make them. It's difficult to get that sheet of glue to lie absolutely flat. After saying that, a lot of companies do. I've had a lot of double-sided glue that are perfect, but I have had quite a few as well that have had rivers in them of air. But all I do is slice them, and I haven't had any problems. Yeah, see, this is the thing. If you're used to the poured glue, yeah, I can understand that because you're going to think, oh, okay, I have never dealt with this before. What if I rip the glue? What if this? What if that? Whereas I think I had air bubbles before I really knew that much about diamond painting. I didn't really know the differences between poured glue and double-sided glue. I was just looking at pictures that I liked and ordered them, and if they happened to have air bubbles in them, I cut them. And it's because I watched YouTube, like most people. And that's why I started doing my own YouTube stuff, because I still class myself as a beginner. I've been doing it for a year. I think this is diamond painting number 16, something like that. But a lot of mine are big. 60 by 80 is a common size for me, and 80 by 100 is the biggest so far. So I tend to go for the bigger ones, which means I suppose you've got a lot of practice doing the dotting. Um, and I've bought from a lot of different companies, but again, that was deliberate because I start initially I wasn't even thinking about YouTube, but then I started thinking this would be good for YouTube because people might buy a diamond paint like that Wish one. People might buy a diamond painting, it's covered in air bubbles, and just throw it away. Um, so I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. I mean, that was the whole thing. It was just basically I got it. I thought that is really bad. I cut all the air bubbles. I did it, and I thought, well, it makes a good one for YouTube because it's going to show a really bad one, and at the end of the day, when it's finished, it'll show what it looks like. I mean, I didn't know how it was going to end up. I just did it, and it is absolutely flat. Um, so I was surprised, but that was round drills. Shouldn't make any difference though. But yeah, it turned out fine. But I think if I'd been doing poured glue, poured glue, poured glue, I would tend to stick to poured glue, I think. I understand that. You're thinking, poured glue, you never have to worry about it. So why buy something where you're going to have to start and mess about with a knife and what if I do it wrong? I totally get it. Okay, I'm just checking I've finished this. I think I have. Yep. Who else is in? Laura. Hi, Laura. Good morning. I never saw your comment. Too busy talking. I do that. 105 by 70. Yeah, my 80 by 100 took. It's the only one that I've timed, and I didn't do it by it took so many days or so many weeks or so many months. I did it actually timed it, because I see comments where people say, how long did it take to do that? And people say, it took me 3 months. But they don't say, it took me 3 months, but I only did maybe an hour a day, or maybe I was doing 6 hours a day some days. And I mean, to me, somebody telling you it took 3 months doesn't really mean anything. So when I did the big one, I timed it. I timed every session that I did, and that took 202 hours. And when I finish timing that one, I haven't bothered timing anything else. For me, it isn't a race, and it's going to take as long as it takes. The more you sit at it, the faster it'll get done. As simple as that. I don't do diamond paintings just to hurry up and get through them. I do them because I enjoy doing it, and I listen to music normally. So I just sit with headphones on, put on Spotify, listen to music, and sit and just. And I don't use multiplacers. Never used a multiplacer. I just do everything dot by dot, and I do the checkerboard pattern as much as possible. Watch and work at the same time. See, I can't do that. I can't. I've never actually tried to watch anything because I just feel I can't concentrate. But I did try and listen to podcasts one time, and I just got totally lost what I was doing diamond painting. So I switched the podcasts off. I can listen to music, and I don't have any problems. And that's as far as multitasking goes for me. I'd rather not make mistakes. I mean, I have done it. I think most people at some point have done it. Started putting the wrong color in the wrong box. I've done it twice. Just totally. See, I did it again. Oh, I'm in the habit of opening this as I go over. There's only one drill fell out that time. I'm still to get used to this with these hinges. Stop and have a look at the comments, I think. Temperature control. Okay. I'm doing well. Doing a little bit of diamond painting and talking to people and reading comments. Yeah, the square drills are the ones that if they're slightly off, you're going to notice it. Whereas the round drills, in my experience so far, they're very, very seldom anything wrong with them. Sometimes you get ones that are a bit smaller than the rest, and you do sometimes get one with a bar on it, but you can turn that so that the bar goes into the triangle that's the gap basically between the drills. You've got that big gap. So you can turn the drill so the little bit that sticks out goes in that space, so you can still use them. Whereas if you start trying to use them with the bars on square, that's when it starts pushing everything out, and then you get drills popping left, right, and centre. So I either don't use them, the ones that have got little bars sticking out, or if I find that I'm getting a lot with one colour, what I do is I use a nail file, and I use tweezers to hold the drill, and I use the nail file to take the bar off, and then I use it. It takes practice. I've lost a few drills. They just ping out the tweezers and disappear. But yeah, that's what I do. If I find there's any kind of flaw in a square drill, I don't use it, because it sort of that little tiny fraction works its way along, and once you multiply it so many times, it becomes a problem where a drill keeps riding up, and it doesn't look like anything's wrong at that part. But if you look along the row, you'll find something somewhere. There's probably a little bar. So what I would do is go back to find the bar, take that drill out, replace it, and then push everything along one at a time. But again, I try to make sure that they don't have any flaws on them when I put them in. Yeah, Angie, I don't know if it was you. Somebody mentioned that to me on Instagram yesterday. Somebody said that she puts the box in the tray, which is a good idea. But again, I've been lifting up Tic Tac boxes for a year, and I'm still in the habit. I did it there. When I lift the box out, the first thing I do is pop it open. It's just purely habit that I'm in. So now I'm trying to get in this habit of when I pick them up, tap them to get the things off. But I've also found that sometimes no matter how hard you hit the box, you still get maybe one or two. I had one that was actually, the half of the drill was sticking out the back of the hinge, or the side of the hinge. So yeah, putting it in the tray is a good idea. But obviously you need a big tray. If I tried to do that with a standard, I'm looking, I don't really use, well, I've got a standard size tray with all my junk in it. If I set that in it, doesn't leave a lot of room. It's too small. But if you've got like the big trays, it's easy. You can open it. You've got plenty of space to drop drills. So yeah, it's a good idea. It's just like I said, I just need to get in the habit of doing it. But I mean, I've only got the Harbour Freights. Can't get them in Denmark, and from what I heard, you can't get them in the UK either. Seems to be just America. I've only got these because of Billy. Billy's Diamond Painting and More is his YouTube channel, and he had been watching me doing a YouTube. I think it was watching me doing a YouTube. I don't know if it was about Tic Tac boxes, but I was using Tic Tac boxes, and he commented. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or if Instagram or Messenger, but he sent me a message anyway, and the message he sent was Tic Tac boxes suck, and that was it. So it made me laugh, and I thought, okay, so I got back to him and started talking to him, because I didn't know what Harbour Freight was. I heard the name, didn't know what it was. So he sent me some pictures. He said, these are Harbour Freights. So I started checking Amazon. I tried Amazon.de, which is Germany. That's the closest to me. They didn't have them. And then I tried .co.uk. They didn't have them either. Biggest tray size, this one. This is the biggest I've got. And again, it's got the nozzle, which is really, really handy for the Tic Tac boxes. But the good thing about the Harbour Freights is you don't need to worry about having this small nozzle. To me, if they came out with a big Tic Tac box, like 3 times or 4 times the size of a standard normal Tic Tac box, I would use them. I like the fact that when I pop the lid, there's only that little section open. I've actually knocked over a Tic Tac box that's had the lid open and nothing fell out. I'm not looking forward to dropping one of these with the lid open. It's purely the fact that they can only hold 800 drills that I don't like the Tic Tac boxes. The other thing is the Hans Christian Andersen that I was doing, it had 90 colours, and these Harbour Freights only hold 24 boxes. So it means I'm going to have a lot of these, like 4 of them sitting on the table with all the colours, whereas the Tic Tac boxes hold 64 in one box. So I only need 2 Tic Tac box holders, like the boxes that hold the Tic Tac boxes. I only need 2 of them, whereas these I'll need 4. And I only have 2 because Billy only sent me 2, which, I mean, what happened was he said, I'll send you some and you can try them. And I said, oh, that'd be really cool. I offered to pay for them, and he said, it doesn't matter. So I thought he was sending me 2 of these. And when I got them, he had sent me 2 of these. And one of those big straighteners that's got the handle on it, and paddy wax, and these, the little holders, cover minders. He sent me a couple of them as well, and I'm sure he sent me something else. So there was a whole pack of stuff. I did an unboxing on YouTube. I just had no idea he was going to send all that stuff, and it took 72 days to get from Billy to me. We both thought the package had been lost, and I think it was about 2 weeks after we'd sort of spoke about it, it actually turned up. So it was 72 days it took to get here. And that was before the really bad, the bad problems with the post. Okay. Hang on 1 second. This is what I like about doing lives. You never know what you're going to be talking about. When you're talking about the bottles, is it these things? I haven't even opened these yet. Or is it bigger bottles? Or I mean, I would imagine you get different sizes. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to do a YouTube video about all of these storage containers and the pros and cons that I've found, pluses and minuses. Hang on, I'd like to see what the other one is. I couldn't remember what they were called. They're called lockables, these ones. Does anybody use these? Okay, Angie, thanks. These lockables, obviously you can see I've used them. This purple bar here is on a spring, and you press this button at the end and it unlocks them. Don't know if you can see, won't focus. You see the bar moving. So while it's sitting like this, it's locked, so there's no chance that these are going to flip open. So the idea is that you press the button in, and then you pick the one you want, and you open it, let it go. The rest are locked. So this is the only one that's open. Again, I'm going to do a YouTube video, so I'll talk about my experience with these things. But you can also buy bigger ones like this. So when you're talking about storage, that's the comparison with the Harbor Freight. And I think they're thicker as well. Yeah. So if you're looking to store a lot of drills of one colour, they would fit in these things. Yeah, these lockables, they come, hang on. They come in a folder. Move that. Take the light away. Hopefully the camera still works. So these come in a folder like this. So there's 4 rows on this side, 4 rows on that side. The big ones are an extra. You have to buy them separately, and the big ones fit in here. Like you take out 2 single rows and the big one would fit in here if you want to put it in that. So they come in a fancy little case, which is quite cool. Put the light back over so it doesn't do that. Oh, that's unlucky. Yeah, if you drop it and it lands on that button, it would open everything. Yeah, like I said, I'm planning to do a comparison with all of these and then just talk about the practical side of them and how I find them, because again, everybody has different opinions. It's like I tend to sit and look at groups and beginners questions and then watch the answers. It became a hobby. Somebody had said they were new to diamond painting, and where should you start? When you go to start a diamond painting, where should you start? If you read all the answers, you should start at the top in the left, at the top in the right, at the bottom in the left, at the bottom in the right, in the middle, or anywhere you like. That was the variety of answers, which makes it extremely confusing for a beginner. And I mean, to me, none of them really are wrong. It's wherever you want, whatever suits you. But when you're new, I mean, when I started, the first one I did, I started up in the left-hand corner because I don't know why. I just thought, well, if you're writing or anything or reading a book, you always start up there. So that's what I did. Not for very long, because I found that when I was doing it, my hand kept sticking in the glue. And I thought, hang on a minute, this isn't working right. So I switched and I started in the bottom right. And it meant that when the glue was exposed, my hand was sitting off the glue. And then I worked it so that I was putting the drills down. And then as my hand came along, it was sitting on top of the drills. So I start in the bottom right-hand corner and work my way from right to left. And then again, because I got fed up my hand sticking in the glue. That's the way that I do it. That's the way that I would advise somebody that was saying, if they're left-handed, start in the left-hand corner. If you're right-handed, start in the right-hand corner. And that's the way that I do it, and that's why I do it. Now, whether somebody wants to follow that is up to them. You can only say how you do it, and it's up to them. There's no right and wrong with this, as everybody knows. But I mean, everybody's obviously trying to be helpful, but it's when you get so many answers to the same thing, and they're all different, and I can only imagine what the person's thinking. It's like, okay, this person says I should start here, and that person says there, and that person said there, and that person said there, and that person said there, and then somebody else said anywhere. It's not giving them a reason why. Like, nobody said I start here because. They just said I start bottom right, I start top left, I start, and they don't explain, which to me defeats the purpose. When you've got a beginner, they need a bit of advice, and they need the reason why is more important than just I do that. So I think if people would say I do this because and explain it, and then somebody does it the other way because and explains it, then that person can think, right, okay, I get why they're doing that. I think I'll do this. The other one is when somebody says, help, I dropped a sheet of paper, my key usually, on the glue. What do? And you get a big list, baby wipes, but nobody says why. And nobody says when you use them, the stickiness of the glue disappears. So you think you've ruined your diamond painting, but when it dries, it's sticky again. It's things like that it's easy to say baby wipes because that is the answer, but the vast majority of the time, people don't explain why. And then they don't explain that the glue loses its stickiness. And the reason I know that is because my wife did it. She dropped a sheet of A4 on the glue. I had read baby wipes. So I nipped out to the supermarket, got baby wipes, we came back, she started rubbing it. And then as the paper was coming off, the stickiness of the glue was disappearing. And she thought, I've just ruined this. But after a period of time, once I take it it's the alcohol in the baby wipe, once that evaporates off, the glue is as sticky as it was before. And I think it's important to tell people that. Don't just say baby wipes. Explain baby wipes it'll lose its stickiness, but it'll come back. Don't worry. I don't know. I just like to try and explain things a bit further than just a like one word answer or whatever. But that's just me. Now I've totally lost what I was doing. I never expected to be going and checking all these containers and stuff. And I hate when I do that. Got the drills in the thing, and then I accidentally put the thing back, and I've got like 3 colours of blue here that look virtually the same, and I forget what code I was looking at. That's what happens when you lose concentration. So now I'll need to watch this back to find out what colour this is. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see what I've got here. X. It could have been 21. I tend to try and work from, like I said, from right to left. So the way that I'm doing this is like the next one in this sort of line going that way is X. So I'll do all the X's, and then I go up to the next one, which is 4, and I'll do all the 4s. That's the way I do it. Again, everybody's got their own thing. Some people might look for the one that's got the most colour, so they just go and do that and get that out of the way. But again, this is I have to check the colours. Yeah, correct. And I've got this little, it's actually a phone holder, this little wooden thing. And this is what I do when I pick a colour, I set the box on that. And that way, if I stop and I go and make coffee or I talk or whatever, when I come back, I'll look on this piece of wood, because that is where I always put it. I put it exactly the same place every time. That way I'm not looking about to see where I left it. And I always check it before I start again, just in case, because sometimes you can think you're doing a certain thing. You may be doing a colour for a long time. You got it in your head, like say, for example, well, I was doing ends, but I finished the ones I was doing, and then it was an X. So because I was doing ends for so long, I could have maybe went, made coffee, came back, and still had it in my head I was on ends. So this is the routine that I've got in, that I just use this little block to raise it up, and just that's what I'm working on. It's just something I've just developed, I suppose. I don't know. Right, before I forget, I'm on X. So where is everybody from? Just to get an idea, because I'm under the impression that most diamond painters are in America, and I think in America, well, there again, it's 3 o'clock. So I don't know the time differences. Billy's Crafting Lounge 21. Is that Billy or another Billy? Virginia, Maryland, 9:13. So yeah, you're all beginning your day. We're coming up to dinner time. I just remember next before I forget. Oh, you changed the name. Hi, Billy. I was talking about you. Is that why you came in? Been talking about the Harbour Freights and the story about how I got them. Because a guy dropped in and left a comment and said, Tic Tac boxes suck. And from that, I ended up getting Harbour Freights. Hi, Missouri. 8:13. All these time differences in the same country. It's really confusing. 7:14. Okay, so Angie is an hour in front of Gail, who is an hour in front of Rosandra. I'm an hour in front of the UK. That's all I remember. Just thinking about this, time differences. Never thought about this before. I take it there are places in America where one town is in one time zone and the next town along is in the next time zone. So there's an hour like between them in the same place, on the same street or the same road. That must happen. And what happens if you've got a big city? Does the boundary go round the city, or is half the city an hour in front of the other one? Never thought about that before. It's been snowing here all day, Billy. This is the first snow we've had this winter. Yeah. Was it eastern? Is it eastern, western, and central? Do you have a central? I know nothing about time zone at all. I just always call this Copenhagen time, but it's actually Central European time. I think last year, I don't think we had any snow last year, not that I can remember. Global warming. What did I ask? I was asking about time zones, and it just came into my head. What if, do you have like a town and then the next town is in a different time zone? Like they're basically neighbours, but their time is different. It must happen. Eastern Central. Mountain. What is mountain time? I've never even heard of that. But there are mountains all over the place. And why is it mountain time? Why do they call it mountain time? It just saves me Googling it. I'll just ask you. Yeah, but I mean, there must be mountains all over America, I would think. Which mountains is it? Now I'm thinking about time zones. Oh, the Rocky Mountains. Yeah, I've seen the Rockies. Seen the Grand Canyon. That was really, really cool. I need wax. Longitude lines across the Earth. Yeah, but I was just thinking that how exact are they with those lines? Because there must be, I would imagine, there must be some cities that are bang on that line. So does that mean that one side of the city is in a different time zone from the other? Each line equals 1 hour. Oh, okay. Something I've never really had to think about because I lived in Scotland and it's just Greenwich Mean Time. Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales, Northern Ireland. It's the same time everywhere. And then I moved to Denmark and I'm 1 hour in front. What is the largest diamond painting that anybody has done? I mean, anybody in here. I've seen some absolutely massive diamond paintings. .42 by 125. One I've done is an 80 by 100. Well, that's big. 140 by 140. That's massive. Has anybody ever put the wrong drills down, like a lot of the wrong colour? 50 by 90, that's a good size, 50 by 95. I've put the wrong colour down twice, but noticed it. I think maybe the most I did was about maybe 50 drills, but the colour was totally different from everything else around it, so it was easy to pick them back out. I'm sure some people have done it where it's been a shade of green and they've done the wrong shade and they can't figure out where they are. That must have happened. So what is freestyle? Is that basically you just make it up yourself? 4 years. How old is diamond painting? I've got it in my head it's only about 4 or 5 years old. I think I did Google it a while back and found out it was a relatively new hobby. And what did you do, Gail? Did you have to go back and pull them all out, or did you give up? I think a lot of the times you could actually get away with using a different colour. Last March. I think I found out about it about, I think, a year past in December was when I started, maybe even November, I started looking because I was actually thinking about taking up cross stitch again. And I went on the net and I was just looking for cross stitch pictures. And something came up somewhere and it mentioned diamond painting. And I thought, what's that? So I had a look and then I thought, that actually looks a bit easier because you don't have all these threads. 4 years, it's a long time. So that's what I did. And then, like I said, I started looking at YouTube, as you do. And I found out that if you wanted a detailed picture, you should get square drills. And if you wanted it to look half decent, you had to get a big one. So I started looking for pictures that I liked, and I found one on Home Craftology. I liked the picture, and I just went for the biggest size and square, and that happened to be a 60 by 60. And when I received it and unboxed it, that's when I realised how big 60 by 60 is and how small one drill is. Even though I've been watching the videos, I didn't appreciate just how small the drills are when you're talking about a 60 by 60. I mean, I know they're all the same size, but the bigger the painting is, the smaller the drills look. And then I got a custom 80 by 100. A year. Yeah, I was talking about that as well. I think if you don't see them side by side and it's a big diamond painting, I don't think you would really notice the difference between square and round, unless it's a very detailed picture. Because I've got some round and, like you said, from a distance, you can't tell it's round. But I'm sure if I had a square beside it the same size, you would tell the difference. Because again, talking about like beginners, they read things and basically whatever they read is gospel. I just read that if you want a sharp image, get square, and that was it. I never getting round never entered my head at all. It was right, got to be square. And then I ordered something like quite a few diamond paintings later. I ordered something, and I never noticed it was round. And it turned up, and it was round drills. And I thought, it's going to look like crap, and it never. So again, it's this thing that when you're new, it's really easy to be sort of focused, like too focused. Like it's got to be it's got to be square, it's got to be big. And then I've done some small ones just to see like if you can get away with a small diamond painting and it still looks okay. And I've actually got two that are small and they look fine. But it's because I was very picky on what I got. I didn't get anything with writing on it. I think writing is the worst thing. You see a lot of things where they've got all these like phrases and things that people like, and it's all like fancy, scrolly writing, and it looks really cool. And it's a tiny diamond painting, but you don't see that. You see the artwork. I really don't like that. I think to me it's false advertising, and I'm sure it puts a lot of people off diamond painting. They're looking for something they like. They like the wording. They go for the smallest one because it's the cheapest, because they don't want to spend too much money, because they don't know if they're going to like it. They do the diamond painting. They can't even read the writing, and it puts them off, and they don't want to put it. They don't want to let anybody see it. They don't want to put it up on the wall, which is a shame, because even if it looks bad, it took time to sit and do that. All these dots one at a time. And I find that disappointing. I mean, I think they should actually have pictures like some companies do. You can actually see a picture of the finished thing, and I think that's what they should all do. But they never will, and I know that. But it doesn't mean to say that you can't get small ones that look okay. But you've just got to be selective. Like something like this looks fine. I mean, it's just a fun one anyway. This is a 37 by 37, but I can't even remember what size the owl is. But the problem with the owl is if I show it here, it's not going to look that good because it'll be really close to the camera. But from a distance, it looks fine. So the second smallest one that I did, I need to move the light. The second smallest one I did was this. It's a bit whitewashed with the camera, but this looks absolutely fine. But I deliberately picked it because it's chunks of colour. So there's no fine detail. And that looks absolutely fine. You can see it's really shiny. This is round. And then the smallest one I've done so far, I don't think I'll go much smaller than this, is this one. Little owl. And this is square. Don't know if I can put the light in it, I'll get a reflection. It's not too bad. But from a distance, it looks fine. But if you see a bigger one, this doesn't look that good. This is meant to be a heart, this blob. But when you don't know that, from a distance, it still looks okay. So, I mean, you can see how small that is, just slightly bigger than my hand, really. In fact, yeah, slightly bigger than my hand. So again, this is, I mean, I know I'm talking to people that have probably been diamond painting a little longer than me, but it's just if anybody comes in and watches the replay and they're new, there's a lot of things that come into it, like what ones are good and which ones you should do as a beginner. The main thing is you should enjoy doing it. That's the main thing. Just take your time. But the really good thing that I like is I've found that the diamond painting community is really, really friendly, and people are really keen to help, which I really like. Yeah, yeah, Rosandra. Have you been following the pictures that I put up with Hans Christian Andersen on Instagram? The sort of progress pictures, because a lot of people do not like confetti. Oh, you're not on it? Did I post any in the group? I can't remember. I'll post some pictures in the group then. Okay. Yeah, I'll post some pictures in the group, because on Instagram a lot of people said they would never do that. I was getting comments like "just no" and OMG, and a lot of people were like, I would never even attempt that. That Hans Christian Andersen was confetti central. It was basically just confetti all joined up, pretty much the whole thing, which didn't bother me. But a lot of people don't like that. It takes too long, too much work, too much back and forward with colours. 90 colours as well. That put people off as well. Just the number of colours. But everybody's different. I like doing these things as well, though, where it's sort of blocks of bright colours. I've found that I like this sort of thing, but I like a challenge as well. Yeah, yeah, I like doing the confetti. I like the fact that it makes them, well, like the Hans Christian Andersen, it makes it pretty unique. The style is different, but I suppose the thing as well is it was me that took the picture and it was me that created the artwork for it. So probably that's got a lot to do with it. But I like the fact that you won't find one that looks like it if you go browsing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like different diamond paintings for different reasons. Yeah, I posted it, but I don't know if I posted close-ups of what it actually looks like the confetti. Yeah, yeah, that's it. I mean, that was a picture. I went into Copenhagen, took a picture of that statue. I liked the picture, and then that was years ago that I took that picture. And then I thought that might look quite good as a diamond painting. And then I decided I was going to do that, and then I looked at it and I thought, I don't want it just to be a picture. I want it to be like a piece of art. So I started fiddling about with it, and finally came up with a design that I liked. And then the thing with that is you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, I think I like it, but I haven't seen it as a diamond painting. So it's a bit of a gamble. It could have been that it could have turned out rubbish, but I like it. And I suppose that's the main thing. I'm just looking at comments. I think I'm just thinking if I did a thing on Instagram where people could vote and just put confetti, yes or no, I'm sure the majority of people would say no. Just from the comments I was getting about the Hans Christian Andersen. I mean, people liked it. Don't get me wrong, they liked it, but when they saw the amount of confetti in it, they were just like, "No way would I do that." I'm just reading back. I see that you said you've got a 30 by 30, Angie, with words, and it came out absolutely beautiful. I have seen some, but I think they're smaller than that, where people have bought them and they are very, very disappointed. And some of them are just unreadable. It's just like blocks of white, which is a shame. I feel sorry for the people that took the time and spent the money and just never realised that that was going to happen. Tammy's doing fine. She's working. She's working from home like most people. Denmark is in the sort of the highest state that it's been in since the very beginning. They just came up with new regulations yesterday. Maximum of 5 people. Only one person from a household to go to a supermarket. You can't go as a couple or anything like that. They haven't done that before. But things are changing rapidly. But we'll be on Saturday, the usual time, 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. Central European time. We took last weekend off because it was the end of the holidays. But we'll be on Saturday. Yeah, I'm always interested to see everything and anything that people are working on. Always. But as I was saying before, I really like the community spirit that people are trying to help each other. I mean, the point earlier that I was saying about beginners is I was just trying to explain, like, I can see how it could be very confusing for somebody to get, like, ask a question and get 6 different answers and none of them are wrong. I think it's when you're totally new, you basically need somebody to help you step by step, and then you get the gist of how the whole thing works, and then you start to think, well, I think maybe I'll do this instead of that. And I think that's how it works. People change the way they work over time. Almost done with Faye. Cool. That didn't take too long. I think if I live streamed this all the time, I would never get this finished. Now I'm just talking. But it's kind of hard to try and do this and read comments and stuff as well. But I'm gonna head off. Like I said, this was just I'll just fire it up and see who comes in. Because of the time difference, I'm never sure who's awake. So I'm just looking outside, it's still snowing. Yeah, thanks to everybody for dropping in and especially joining in the conversation. It's pretty pointless to do these things if nobody's talking. So as I said, I'll be on Saturday with Tammy And as usual, no planned agenda. We'll just see what people start talking about, take it from there. The only thing that I can say is I'm sure there will be a lot of laughter. There has been in everyone so far. So we quite enjoy doing these things. And the last one was meant to be from 8 till 9. I actually went from 8 till after 10. We basically did a double stint. I will do, Gail. Thanks for dropping in. So thanks everybody for dropping in and joining in the chat. Have a good day or good evening, wherever you are. So that is it. In the meantime, take care, be safe, and wash your hands.